Welcome back, Captain. How can I be of assistance? The unit is a cleaning SAM. Hawthorne brought it on board some cycles. Alex likely recorded progress notes detailing. If you check the terminal in your captain's quarters, we may be able to determine what work remains in order for SAM to properly. Take care. I require a functioning captain to run the ship. We're now in orbit above Roseway, Captain.
That's the last of them!
Why was I built to feel ennui?
Initiating initialization sequence. Would you like to... Registering... SAM units...
We are now in orbit above Stellar Bay, Captain. No blockade is a match for my piloting skills.
Who's the sweetest boy? Who is it?
Error. Unable to process the specific customer service request. Please repeat the order.
Yeah, you are.
Well, new business turns up at last. Celia, didn't I tell you our new statistics?
That you did, sir.
How can yield improvements of 26.7% not quicken the pulse? How can 32...
You've often posed these very questions.
Clear my schedule. This newcomer has a meeting. Celia, will you make a note of that for my self-review? Very generous.
Noted.
But not so generous I can't drive a good bargain. Now, who sent you? Rizzo's, perhaps? Or Auntie Cleo herself? Oh. Now, there's no need to humor me. I'm used to this particular letdown.
Seems like you're having a rough time, Mr. Sanjar. Are you doing quite all right?
Oh, don't worry on my account. This is merely the latest in a long line of professional erotic. I had hoped that livening up our advertisements with enticing figures would draw the other corporations back to our bosom, but... Thanks to the so-called hazard clause, Monarch has been cut off from the board's resources and... Now, we've kept ourselves in business by trading with individual corporations, but given the off-the-books nature of the... Yes, freedom is a tempting ideal, but a rather costly
Indeed. Mr. Nandi here has a rather ingenious plan to get MSI restored to the board.
On our terms, mind you.
But will that help the people here, Mr. Sanjar? Keep them fed and safe?
That's precisely what I'm trying to do.
And if our advertising scheme hasn't borne fruit, then perhaps it's time we took matters into our own hands.
It's true, our Celia is an alarmingly competent middle manager. At any other company, she'd be wasted in data entry. The plan she refers to is a two-pronged approach, and the first part involves seeing Stellar Bay properly defended.
And a Mantisaur problem, and a Marauder.
Many problems, but they can all be solved with a Bolt 50. If you can get us what we need to rejoin the board, stop.
And you'll have a powerful ally on the board.
Why, one of the strongest defenses in Halcyon. An extremely powerful... In the old arms building southwest of town, which used to be part of Stellar Bay before we had to move our walls in, these days it's... Do be careful. I've lost more than a few people to Marauders and Raptidons out there. Oh, and while you're at it, there should be a terminal in the arms building with some dangerous information. Perhaps you could delete it so it doesn't fall into the wrong hands.
Poor Braxton. I don't...
Rising. Concentrated amount of scum present ahead. Time to take out the trash.
Not even scratch.
Sam, on the job. Dirt alert! Dirt alert! Pollutant verified.
You okay, Captain?
Counting. 126 messages. 127.
Here we go!
Rats for boots? Oh, thank the Eternal. I'm Huxley. Hux if you're lazy. I'm stuck. My friends and I were scavenging here, and a Meta Queen showed up. Then Raptidons. It was a void-blasted mess. I ran in here, and, now the door's locked. It's easier than it sounds, all right? Phew. Thanks, mister. So look for a dead guy, I guess. Or... Oh, much obliged.
Ah, phew. Thank you so much. It was getting all stuffy in there, and I was getting a mite lightheaded, and I think maybe Now I'm out here, and I'm headed back to Amber Heights.
Don't mess with us.
Velma seem out of sorts to you?
She's always great.
A fine day for business, isn't it? Anyway, what can I do for you? Oh, yes. I'm going to be up all night.
Try to control yourself, sir.
Have you any idea how powerful this is? Corporations have been toppled with less. What a question! Bureaucratic micromanagement is the only way anything gets done in Halcyon, and proper documentation is a key part of that. For our part, a bill of liquidation/transfer Form 52 will protect our holdings on Monarch by temporarily assigning them to a pass-through entity once we drop our bomb on the board. Sort of. Really, we're just going to blackmail them into offering us a seat at the table.
But really, whatever gets you excited about the idea, it's definitely a firm middle finger.
That's what I like to hear. I have reason to believe that one of the other corporations is operating.
Is it really illegal if the board's the one that makes the rules in the first place?
You really think so? I admit I'd been hatching this scheme for quite some time. I just needed someone capable to help me If someone is operating here, then Catherine's almost certainly supplying them out of Fallbrook. Perhaps she could be convinced to tell you... Already? If only the rest of the colony operated as efficiently as you. Imagine what a different state we'd be in, hmm? I'll complete the Bolt 52 in no time.
You're getting ahead of yourself again.
So I am. Do you have... I knew there was something going on. This is exactly the proof we need. The board will... I'll transmit this data along with the completed Bolt 52 right away. After that, we'll sit back...
That means no more broadcasts.
You think if we talk to those Iconoclast folks, they'd...
Was there anything else? Then it's good that I keep such meticulous notes. I've asked myself the same thing many times, especially seeing as the legal mechanisms we employed were part of the... Not intentionally, though that's technically true. For many years, this planet was home to as many corporations as Terra 2, but back then it was known as... As you may have noticed, this planet, and as the other corporations began to tally their losses, MSI's leadership at the time certainly thought so, but there were others of us who saw an opportunity, the chance to improve working out. It's humane, but it's also good business sense.
I hope you'd treat them nice.
A noble thought, Miss Holcomb. Anyway, we learned of a loophole in the corporate bylaws that would allow MSI to claim, creating the perfect environment for us to enact these new No, they laughed in our faces. Yes, some of us stayed behind, and I moved forward with our planned reforms, as well as our strategy to assume ownership. Yet not long after I renamed it, I don't think I realized how far they'd stoop. Everything we did was legal and above board. I do think there's something useful in a governing body like the board. Why wouldn't anyone? They own nearly all the resources and infrastructure in Halcyon. I'm not a man to put... If membership on the board can ease our hardships and provide us with opportunities... Besides, I'm hopeful that additional leverage on our part will allow us a more equitable... Indeed, I've discovered it's much easier to negotiate from a position of power. And I don't... My hope is to maintain the reforms we've managed here. Why wouldn't anyone? They own nearly all the resources and infrastructure in Halcyon. To be on the board is to be part of the colonial community. I'm not a man to put pride before progress. If membership on the board can ease our hardships and provide... Besides, I've discovered it's much easier to negotiate from a position of power. My hope is to maintain the reforms we've managed here, and who knows? What can I do for you?
Whoops, hold on there, Sam. You got some schmutz on your chassis.
Did your SAM unit get dirty on the job? Simply initiate SAM self-clean. Reminder, unit modifications performed by unauthorized technicians are not... Disarray